What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And man, I want to talk to you guys about some more sparring. The history and the stories of sparring wars in the ring. I've been talking about it earlier this morning when Anthony Joshua, he gave his account on going to war with Tyson Fury. So, friends of the channel, shout out to BPM, for stating this. He put the link in the description, and I'm also going to put the link under this particular video. And Tyson Fury, this was around 2010, okay? He said that for 3 rounds, Anthony Joshua beat him up, teed off on him, caught me with a good right. And if he was David Price, he would be knocked out for about a month. You know what I mean? So he was crediting his chin, also crediting how good Anthony Joshua was. He referred to Anthony Joshua as, he only had like 20 amateur fights at that time. Well, Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury, of course, was already a professional, and this was right before the Derek Chisora fight when he fought him. And, he said he's a great prospect and he's going to be the future of boxing. And then look where he is today. It's a trip how things change. You wouldn't hear Tyson Fury say that about him now. And it just shows you where a person is versus where where a person ends up. How do you revere that person? How you look at that person now? Because back then Tyson Fury was, he's a very good prospect, And then you hear him talk about Anthony Joshua now, in current day. He's more like, oh, well, he can't box a tomato. You know what I mean? So, I just thought that was rather odd. And Tyson Fury has been known for his honesty. And he said, hey, this guy really beat me up for like 3 rounds, and he was teeing off on me. But he also said, well, I didn't want to go too hard on him because I wanted him to come back or whatnot. You know what I mean? So, but mind you, if a guy that's getting beat up in the ring, a natural instinct to fight back or to, to change up your intention, to open up on someone quickly because someone's trying to open up on you. That's how I would see it, but, that's just my opinion. But no, I just thought it was interesting to bring up because, these guys have sparred. I didn't even know they sparred before. I know this has been almost 9 years ago, mind you, but it is worth mentioning because Anthony Joshua is, showing all the way back then when he was an amateur. He was already, about that life. He was about fighting, And even though he was just trying to learn something before he went to jail, he still, showed that he had a fighting spirit. He showed that against Klitschko. You know what I mean? That he can get off that canvas and rally and then get the KO in the 11th. It's a spectacular fight, man. But, the more and more you hear about guys that sparred previous, and I'm going to say it again, the more a fight builds. You know what I mean? A lot of people think Canelo fought Golovkin because Golovkin was the mandatory, which he was. However, a lot of people, including myself, wanted to see that fight because these guys got in the ring and they sparred and they, and of course they said it was a pretty good match in a scrap, but no one had cameras, so no one sees it. You know how you seen Khan fight, sparring with Manny Pacquiao? Well, and Khan was pretty much getting the best of Manny Pacquiao. I don't know if you guys seen that. That's why fights like that can build. You can build on these type of fights. You can build on an amateur beating a guy, then they turn pro, then they fight in the pros, like Sugar Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya did. You know what I mean? Vernon Forrest and Sugar Shane Mosley, they did the same thing. And each time, right? Each time that didn't happen. If a guy that got the best of someone in sparring, just like, or in the amateur career, in the amateur rankings, like Vernon Forrest did to Sugar Shane, like Sugar Shane did to Oscar De La Hoya, both of those guys had already beat those guys previous. You know what I'm saying? So Sugar Shane, he had De La Hoya's number just like Vernon Forrest had Sugar Shane Mosley's number. So, a lot of people say sparring is sparring and boxing is boxing. Yeah, but guess what? You're still fighting. You're still punching. You're still trading shots. You know what I mean? You're still working on your technique, right? Because that is your technique, whatever you're working on. You're punching. You're working at different movements. You're sizing up your opponent. So yeah, sparring is very important to me. It's a good barometer for anything uh, that's concerned with a pre-fight. Okay, so um, but I think it was cool for Tyson Fury, to say that back then, and then it's just crazy how your whole perspective changes in a matter of years because, again, I would doubt that he would say something like that about Anthony Joshua now, but he did say that about the young prospect, the young amateur prospect, which was Anthony Joshua. And he said, hey, look out for this guy, Anthony Joshua. He's going to be the future. He's going to have a name. So, and he has a future and he definitely has a name. In fact, if you look at Anthony Joshua's fan base versus Tyson's Fury, Anthony Joshua beats him 10-1. You know what I mean? Because he has that fan base. He's a huge fan in the UK. You know what I mean? And I would like to see those sparring sessions. Because see, a lot of things don't get said in sparring sessions. A lot of times they purposely don't record these sessions because, it's a work in progress. They don't want to give people the wrong idea. And it's practice at the end of the day. So they don't want people, first of all, they don't want the other side of the people that they're fighting to get a hold of this footage because they'll know what they're working on. For another reason is because, it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? I've heard all types of rumors. I've heard that Fernando Vargas got knocked out one time with an uppercut and all types of fighters. I heard Sean Porter took it to Manny Pacquiao and they went to war. You know what I mean? And a lot of people say Sean Porter got the best of Manny Pacquiao. But of course, these weren't recorded sessions. Triple G and Canelo, another example. So, sparring means something, man. And at the end of the day, it's still entertainment because I could sit there and watch two guys that spar. Look at Erislandy Lara and Jamal Charlo, right? These guys spar many rounds. If they fight, they would be no stranger to each other at all. So, sparring means something, man, definitely, So you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's statements, about Anthony Joshua. Again, shout out to BPM for sending the link below. I'm going to copy and paste that same link and put it under this description so you guys can hear that interview from Tyson Fury yourself so you can get the source. But anyway, you guys, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.